For years, Vladimir Putin has maintained an obsessive control over what the world sees of his private life. His daughters from his marriage are kept behind a protective wall of secrecy. His alleged love child, Elizaveta Krivonovich, better known as Luisa Rozova, was once the exception, born during an affair with Svetlana Krivonovich, a cleaner-turned multi-millionaire socialite. She emerged briefly into the public eye as an Instagram-era influencer, private jets, Gucci mask, DJ sets, elite parties, a life shaped by power and wealth that didn't come from nowhere. Then came the war in Ukraine. The glamour stopped overnight. Now aged 22, living in Paris under the name of Elizaveta Rudnova, she was confronted last week on a quiet street in Paris near the art galleries where she works, and the man who stopped her was not paparazzi but a grieving Ukrainian journalist, Dmytro Sviatnenko. His brother Volodymyr had been killed in November by a Russian missile strike as soldiers gathered for a medal ceremony. He approached her calmly and told her the truth. 3 weeks ago, your father killed my brother. That is the unbearable collision between two worlds, one created by brutal power, the other destroyed by it. Louisa first tried to shut the camera off. I did not give you permission to film me. The response was immediate and devastating. Kiev is without power. There is an air raid alert. Nobody asked our permission either. He asked her if she supported Putin's policies and if she felt any responsibility living in Paris while Russian propaganda describes Europe as a gay rope, a degenerate enemy. Her instinct was deflection. What does that have to do with me? The grief-stricken journalist pushed harder. He's your father. You could call him. Tell him to stop shelling Kiev. She replied twice, of course, but with a hollow tone that betrayed hopelessness. The idea that she has any influence over the most secretive ruler in modern Russia feels absurd. Yet the question cut through the privilege. What do children of dictators owe to their victims? He even offered to fly her to Kiev. Your presence alone could stop missiles. She declined. I am very sorry. I am not responsible. She praised his courage for approaching her, then she left. In one sense, she is right. She didn't choose her father. Power in Russia flows one way only, to the Kremlin, and since the start of the war, she has been silenced. Her social media is gone, her public work scrubbed. In 2021, Putin's entourage reportedly shut down her influence operations for fear she could embarrass him. There is evidence she is broken emotionally with her origins. Posts on Telegram referenced a man who took millions of lives and destroyed mine. That is as close to naming Putin as she dares. She has abandoned the designer labels for modest clothes and works behind the scenes in 2 Paris galleries that exhibit anti-war artists. Some praise her attempt at a new identity, others reject her entirely, insisting that anyone who benefited from the regime carries its stain. That is the tragedy of bloodlines. She is both innocent and implicated. The bigger story, this uncontrollable street encounter, exposes 3 truths. Firstly, Putin's private vulnerabilities are real. A daughter abroad, visibly ashamed, living in a Europe he claims to hate. It undermines his mythology of invulnerable Russianness. The victims demanding accountability wherever they can find it. A young Ukrainian journalist cannot reach the Kremlin, so he confronts someone who carries Putin's face. And the dictatorship isolates both rulers and their families. Luisa lives in hiding, cut off from Russia's elite and from the victims of her father's decisions. Her new life is a silent exile. This war rewrites every life. This brief encounter in a Paris street has become a symbolic moment, a privileged daughter confronted by the reality her father created. She says she's sorry. She insists she's not responsible. But every missile fired at Ukraine makes it harder to pretend that the edges of power do not bleed into the lives of those who orbit it. Putin has tried to erase her existence from the Russian narrative, yet here she is, forced into public view by the grief of a brotherless man. In that moment, the war crashed into the life of someone who once thought she could escape it. No one escapes this war, not even the children of the man who started it.